A story is told of a special group of people that were terribly oppressed by their enemies. The enemy made sure that there was no blacksmith in their land. They had no one to sharpen their weapons, even if they did have weapons. And if they wanted to sharpen even their farm tools, they would have to go to the land of their enemy to sharpen it. And then when the day for battle came, they had no swords. Only the king and his son had swords to go to battle. This was exactly what the enemy wanted. But of course, these people were people of God, and God was on their side because God found a man who was willing to say, the same God who can deliver with an army can also deliver with just two men. The prince and his armor bearer went into the camp of the enemy, and God defeated them. God can do with very little what men cannot do with more than enough. This is not where I'm going with the message, but I believe someone needed to hear that. So, what are some of the modern ways that the enemy uses this strategy against us? When you know your God, you know who you are, and you're walking in obedience to God, that is a potent weapon against the enemy. Three ways were highlighted to me as I kept thinking about how the enemy can come against us. Number one, he makes a person doubt themselves, doubt all that God has deposited in them. And once a person is unable to see themselves through God's eyes, they will be unable to bear the weight of their calling. They'll be unable to walk boldly and walk strong and courageous on the path that God has prepared for them to walk. You have to believe in God, but you also have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the deposit of God in you. That is where believing in God is complete, because you cannot claim to believe in God and yet not believe in his deposit within you. So the enemy would ensure that this person is timid, this person has terrible self-esteem, and they are unable to see the hand of God upon their lives. So they have all the gifts that God has deposited in them, but those tools, those weapons are ineffective. They are not able to even go ahead to sharpen their weapons because they don't even know that they don't believe that they have it. They don't believe that the weapons, the gifts that God has given to them is potent enough to bring the victory that God has ordained for them to experience in their lives, in their families, and even in the world around them. Reminds me of what Jesus said, that the one who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. And you wonder, how will something be taken away from someone when they don't even have it? It's because they considered what they had as nothing. And this is a strategy of the enemy to make a person not see the real value of themselves and not see the real value of the God deposit in them. So they're not able to be faithful stewards of what they've been given because they don't even consider that they've been given something.